What's up, guys? So I have a little something for you guys today. Check this out. Oh yeah. The Axial SCX24. Finally got my hands on one of these. I got the Deadbolt edition, and as you can see, the packaging, the way Horizon sent it, excellent packaging. I love it. Everything is just nice and ready for you to use. No, I'm kidding. I bought this used about a day or two ago, and I decided I'm going to make a video, an upgrade series, because I actually have a couple things to do for this rig. So, bought this used for like, I think, what did I pay? 45 bucks for it, which I think is a spectacular deal. But, he said everything was in there. We did try it in the parking lot. So you get your remote. Like I said, I got the Deadbolt edition. Here is the rig itself. Got the body, the red Deadbolt body. Have a charger, which the battery is right here on the rig. Looks like some spare links and drive shaft, half of a drive shaft. And lastly, body clips. No instruction manual needed on this one. Introducing the SCX24. Basically, if you've had a 1/10 crawler, you can actually use this as the same way. So pretty much what this is a really small version of a 1/10 Deadbolt from Axial. And it's really neat because you can use these inside. It's a full hobby grade because A, it's upgradable, and B, you can find replacement parts if you break something. So that's what makes it hobby grade. And it's some interesting electronics to come with this thing. There's a lot of really ingenuity that went into this. So as you can see, it comes with LED lights. I believe these retail for about 120 or something like that. Some crazy number. Honestly, I wouldn't pay that full price. You have your receiver. Everything is built in here, ESC receiver. So all your things plug into it, your battery, the motor, it all plugs into here. So that's kind of interesting. Haven't seen that in a while. Of course, your LiPo battery here, battery tray. It's not really a whole lot. Like I said, if you've used the SCX10 platform, it's basically identical, besides everything has been scaled down on this thing. Again, one thing that I don't like is just how there's a lot of play and everything in this. It's so weird. It's just so wiggly, so nothing stays in place. Sorry, but you do have a full servo here. That's full proportional steering, and it's pretty cool. I mean, I like it overall. So first look at this thing. It looks absolutely amazing. The leg stand is actually really thick. I think this is the same leg stand that they use for the 1/10 body. So that's neat. You get your scale driver in there. Some really nice wheels, licensed Nitto wheels with no foam, just the tire themselves. Overall suspension is really squirmy and squishy, and one thing I didn't notice that I don't like a whole lot is this. This is a very narrow wheelbase as far as the width. Like, I feel like this is going to flip over, especially with it being so top heavy, which actually I'm going to make that worse, and you'll see in a second. But yeah, it's really squirmy, really squishy. Don't really care for this bounce too much. And as far as I've read, these shocks that are inside are not oil filled, so we'll probably change that with some grease and see how that works. But we're gonna do a stock run with it just so we can see how it looks. And I actually have some modifications in mind for this thing, and I'll show you. So a long while back, I had bought an RC from Walmart, and I think it was for a cousin, or I can't even remember, but it ended up back in my possession, and it didn't work anymore. So I tossed it, and I kept the body, and it turns out that it's almost the exact wheelbase for the SCX24. So check this body out. Yeah, that's right. That's the newest Ford Bronco. And it's actually really nice livery. I wish it was paint and not stickers, because the stickers are already kind of coming off. But I mean, it looks pretty awesome. It's very scaled out. It's got an interior. You have a radiator, a fuel cell, some extinguishers. Like, this thing is all decked out, and it also came as a defect from the factory because it has the new bright upside down. I guess it's so you can read it whenever you flip over, because it's gonna be so freaking top heavy, you know. But I just went ahead and chopped it off of whatever it was on. It was one of those ugly fake crawler looking rigs, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna take this whole winched off. Definitely don't like this, but we're gonna do some modifications with this. So some of the things that I have in mind, and I already printed these, are these here. So I printed 2 sets. One is an extension, which they look terrible, but they should work. But it extends it a pretty good amount. Or I can just use extended hubs, which these are 7.5 millimeter extensions on each side. Let's set all this aside here, and this is the body. So I'm gonna definitely have to work with it. It's so top heavy that it just instantly sinks the shocks. So we'll have to address that somehow. The second thing is, as you can see here, since it has such a narrow wheelbase, it's not lining up with the fenders too well. So I just don't like them sitting on the inside so much. To me, it doesn't look right. So hopefully the hub extension or just the wider hubs themselves will do it. I'm hoping the hubs will do it, because there's a little bit of work involved with the extensions. But I mean, overall, it looks pretty cool. Like I said, the wheelbase it's a little off. It's not crazy off. For this, we are going to have to relocate some things. So I am going to print a forward battery tray and see if that does anything. Definitely going to move the battery from back here. So the other problem is that this cable is too short, so I might have to tap into this and extend it. To charge this thing is really simple. You just plug in your balance lead into this little charger. That goes into a USB plug. This will become a green light whenever it's done and ready. So let's see how long that takes to charge. Alright, so our battery finished. Let's go ahead and test this baby out. Well, you guys saw the first run on this thing. Now, what do you think? I thought it was actually better than I was expecting. Although I still got a lot of that squishiness. But let's go ahead and break this thing down and start doing some upgrades. So I actually don't have a nut driver that's this size. I thought I did. Being in the hobby for this many years, you would think I would, but I didn't. But I'm just using this hemostat to take them off. That seems to work pretty well. So as you guys can see, there's the original hub, little tiny thing. Here is the 7.5 millimeter hub, and then the hub extension, which, you know, the hub extension doesn't look the best, but I can make that work if need be. But I'm gonna try the red ones first and see how they look, because that's the easier swap. All I have to do is just swap these out with the original, and that's it. So if you see, there's the red. Go ahead and put the stock wheel back on, and then we can put the screw on. Alright, and just an update. These red ones will not work. The reason being is they're so wide that you actually can't put the knuckle back on, or the wheel back on, I should say. And I have no way of screwing it, so I don't even understand why that was an available size. So what I end up doing is use that extension. As you can see here, look how much wider the stance is already. Just by looking at that back wheel. That's crazy how much more distance you get from that. And what you do is you screw it onto the actual axle itself, and then instead of using a nut, you're going to use a screw for the center cap now. So that's what worked for me. If you guys have tried something similar and had different results, you know, let me know what you did as far as getting that on there. But it really wasn't that hard. I just had to really drill out that hole just a little bit to put the pin back in. It comes with a little holder. Really no problem. I just have to do the rest of the wheels. Oh, but before I do that, let me put the stock body back on. Oh, I'm already liking that. Look how much wider that is. Yeah, that's really nice. The extensions worked really well for me. Now, I don't have the most scale hardware going in the middle, but honestly, I don't care. The body's going to go on really nicely. Now we just have to actually move everything around on the inside, make sure everything's going to work the way I want it to. But, I mean, just look at that stance now. It sits right where it needs to sit inside that wheel well. And that looks pretty good to me. Well, unfortunately, that was the easy part. And the hard part now is relocating everything to make sure that this hard body sits on there. And I definitely need to address the shock situation because it's definitely all the way down now. Well, there we have it. Completely done. As you can see, the wheels lined up pretty nicely. The lights sit right underneath the body. So here's what I did to make this work. The first thing that I needed to do is relocate everything from the middle because of the interior is set so low that this is the only place that I can do the mounting. So I'm not using body post on this. As you can see, I 3D printed a LCG battery tray, which is actually supposed to be for the battery, but I used it to relocate the ESC. I wanted to keep the weight up front and give it a little bit more heft, so I velcroed the battery up here so it is removable. It connects right to the ESC, so I don't need to extend any of the wires. Everything works as it should. Let's go ahead and do a test run outside. I need to do some research, so I need to end this video here, but again, the shocks, whenever the body is on, it's just completely all the way down. So I need to figure out either preloads, or I need to figure out something that I can do in order to keep that weight. But otherwise, it's very simple. That's really an easy build overall, honestly. As long as the Velcro lines up okay, I mean, the tires don't really rub at all. So, you know, I really like the way this came out. You definitely won't see another SCX24 like this anywhere. So, really happy overall. I'm gonna go back and just paint like the radiator. I already painted these a little bit, but I kind of messed up, but that's all right. But you know, overall, it came out really well. I'm not gonna do any lights on top either. To me, that's gonna be a waste doing all that wiring and stuff. I'm not gonna deal with that. So I'm just gonna leave it as is. I'll find a scale driver for this thing, and it'll be done. So if you guys have any questions, please leave them down below. If not, we'll end it right here. Thanks so much for watching Flash Hobbies. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and hit notifications. We'll see you on the next one.